Ethan, I wish to apologize.
There's nothing to be said. You deserted your post at a critical moment and disobeyed a direct order.
Listen, it was really boring. Are you gonna kick me off the podcast?
How many movies have you watched?
At least 9, sir.
Why you, Dr. Devon?
It was a mistake. It was all of a sudden, it was slow and it was boring and German. And I just, I had taken a Benadryl. It won't ever happen again, Ethan. You can depend on it. I swear.
All right, Devon.
So you won't kick me off the podcast?
Get some sleep.
You're tall, but I'm standing in front of you.
It's a podcast.
Welcome to You're Tall, but I'm Standing in Front of You, the podcast where two friends circling the drain of academia, or wait, are they? We're kind of both employed now. Holy
Circling
shit.
the drain all the way to the top.
That is until the United States unilaterally eliminates tenure, or in my case, after my 1-year VAP is up.
It's going to be a great few months, though.
Yeah. But, while we're doing that, we also examine the cultural detritus of the 20th century. And, man, we're taking detritus very literally this week. But
Straight
first
down to
things
the
first. But first things first, how's it going, buddy?
It's great. Can't complain. Just writing up a little paper that I need to defend. Coming up here soon.
Just like just one of those short, like multi-chapter papers. That
Yes. I have finished the abstract. Yeah, it's just a few more finishing pieces.
Did you make sure you have a strong thesis?
Oh wait, what?
Oh shit. Which, by the way, I'm a doctor now. I beat you to the punch. So I would like to be referred to as Dr. Daniels for the duration of this episode, please. Lots of put respect to my name.
Dr. Daniels, PhD.
Yeah. That's what it's going to say on all the self-help books I write after my career flames out. But here we are. We're in the midst of our post VE Day World War II miniseries. And Ethan, why don't you tell the listeners about what we are watching this week and who our special guest is?
Yes. So we, last episode we watched Come and See, which was the 1980s Soviet film set in Belarus. And now this week we are moving on to a German film, I guess a West German film from the early 1981. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
1981, Das Boot, which is German for the boot.
I was just going to say, in all seriousness, when the title card came up as I was watching, and instead of Das Boot, it said The Boat, my heart sank faster
you turned
than
it
any
off.
of the submarines.
That's all that you watched. So you're going in with up to the title card for your background. Yeah.
We will get into, in a minute, what my experience of watching this film was like, because it was not seamless. But yeah, directed by Wolfgang Petersen.
Uh-huh.
And of course, starring friend of the show, Jurgen Prochnov.
Yeah.
Of Dune fame.
Yeah.
One of our rare repeat actors.
Yeah, look at that. Maybe he's gonna have to be the person we rank things on in future.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. We're supposed to. Oh, I have not prepared for that part of the show yet. Anyways, yeah. So that's exciting, and we are joined by special guest Mike Beaupre. Mike and I go way back. Devin, as you know, none of my friends or family watch or listen to this podcast. They've disowned it. In fact, they actively don't listen to it.
Yeah.
But Mike has always said, if you do Das Boot, I will come on your fucking podcast and do that episode. I will not listen to the final product, but I will.
No, obviously I have to listen to it. But...
I'll listen to this one.
Yeah.
So
what if this is the one that gets me to listen to all of them?
Wow.
Did you think of that?
This is we keep having guests on in the hope that it's going to bump our numbers. That's really what it's about. So,
but not because they're going to bring listeners in. We're just hoping to eventually have every person on the planet as a guest.
Yeah.
So that everyone listens to at least one episode.
Yeah. But Mike has, I think, a degree in World War II submarine warfare.
Yeah. I am the world's foremost expert on World War II U-boat tactics and warfare.
Yeah, so
that's not true at all. So I don't want anyone coming after me.
Well, welcome to the pod, Mike.
Thank you.
And you and I we watched this via Discord. We synced it up and watched it a few weeks ago. Which again, there was a long list of stipulations for Mike appearing on this podcast. One of which was we need to link this up and we need to watch it together. So we we took some notes down as we were going through it. I know, Devin, you have prepared for days and weeks for this episode as well. And so
absolutely.
Yeah. And so that brings us to Das Boot. So Mike, why don't you sort of take us through the general plot of this? And I do want to say apologies in advance to our listeners. We did not watch the 8-hour version of this film.
Thank God.
Yeah, it's like the 3.5 hour version. It's like we're just busy. And
how dare you?
Yeah, I know.
How busy can you be?
I know. So we missed the scene where maybe they went to they did other adventures. I don't know where else. Like maybe they went to the North Atlantic or they went to off the coast of the Gulf of Mexico.
Well,
yeah.
I don't know how completely accurate this is, but I think this movie was originally filmed to be like a miniseries. And then they had to cut it down into the theatrical release, which is, some of the scene changes are abrupt and you don't exactly know what's going on compared to what was happening before. And of course, if you look at the runtime for the director's cut, you're looking at like 4.5 hours. So as much as I love,
there's like 5 different versions of this, I think.
Yeah, so you tell someone to watch it, you never know which one they're going to pick.
Yeah. So to be clear, we watched the original theatrical cut,
which was the correct
149 minutes.
The correct choice in retrospect.
Yeah,
I gotta say, like, just before we get into the plot summary, I had a hell of a time watching this. Like, so something about me that, like, I think this relates maybe to some of my very, my controversial, extremely anti-Top Gun takes that I've had on the podcast before. But, like, there's something with my brain. It doesn't really happen with cars because I think cars are just so common and they're in so many movies. But, like, the second dudes are just like getting into vehicles, my brain just like shuts off. It's just like, okay, they're just going from place to place. Who cares? And so watching a movie that entirely consists of
Oh
a
wow.
submarine was rough for me.
How did you feel? Sorry, go on.
I also found out I got a job like 30 minutes into watching it, so I got really distracted by that. I fell asleep at one point.
It's the whole gambit of emotions.
This is the proper way to experience Das Boot. All of these
it
conflicting
did feel
emotions.
very immersive.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in the submarine because if I was in the submarine, I would have been very upset.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, what does that like extend? I'm just sort of curious. First off, you're gonna make Mike leave by talking shit on Top Gun. You know,
I think it's just like my thing with Top Gun is like when they get in the planes, I stop paying attention because I'm like yada yada plane.
but that's
stuff.
like that's literally the only thing Top Gun has going. People don't watch Top Gun for the intricate plot. They watch it because like, ooh, plane goes zip zip.
Planes.
But
yes.
yeah.
Like you see, like the ideal movie
Yeah.
for me is like a single shot of a guy sitting there being like thinking about God and not saying anything for like 3 hours. And so like, you know, when like that to me is like the essence of cinema.
Right.
And so
what
I
about
really just
what about when we watched like Star Trek and all that? Does it count when they're like stuck on a spaceship all
see
together?
this is interesting. Because I believe that the Enterprise is large enough that it reads more as like a building that happens to move to me.
Okay.
But the submarine, there was so much emphasis on like the mechanics of the submarine that it very much felt like a vehicle to me.
So you're probably not
and
a fan
place
of like,
I really don't want to be.
Fair. You're probably not a fan of like Star Trek, the original series, because that was like sort of built upon being a naval ship in space, and that probably wouldn't appeal to you.
I don't care how the stuff works. Like I'm a cyclist. I don't own a car. Just get me from place to place.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a bad Marxist in that way. I really do not care about the unseen underbelly of production of what's making the submarine move. I'm just like, okay, whatever, get the submarine someplace. But I loved the food. Loved the food party scene. That was my favorite part of the movie.
Well, let's get into it.
Mm.
Let's get into it. Sort of, Mike,
Absolutely.
you want to sort of take us through the general abridged version of Das
Sure.
Boot?
Yeah, and we'll find some other wild tangent to drop off on. But no, the movie opens up, and I wish okay, we can talk about that later. But let's just get through this. So the movie opens up, and they're at like some wild officers' party in France somewhere. Everything is blacked out. There's no lights. And it's some French whorehouse, and then these guys are about to put out to sea. All these guys are about to put out to sea, and then they're celebrating Thompson's award that he is receiving. And he gets up and he makes a speech that is very critical of Der Fuhrer.
Wow.
That's Adolf
shocking.
Hitler for the folks at home.
Yeah. And yeah, so they do that. Everyone gets wildly drunk, and then they ship out the next day.
I say?
Let me just say,
yeah, please say, because I think I feel like I might say the same thing. If I were as drunk as any of these people, I would not be able to ship out on a boat, that's constantly tossing and turning.
That's a good point. You would have been probably really sick on that
alcohol
boat.
poisoning.
Yeah.
Like if I had to be carried out of a bathroom because I fell on the floor and couldn't get myself up. Oh, but then you got to ship out. Not only do you have to ship out that particular character, you've got to be in charge of 30 or 40 other dudes.
I mean, just take some meth and you're fine.
In those days,
how the
it was
German war
accepted.
machine.
It was fine.
Yeah. I was gonna say that like the thing that I found interesting with the opening scene, like Germans in war movies when they get drunk, like they just get really. Well, I guess I'll compare it. Americans in war films, when they get drunk, are always presented as like these rowdy, like rootin' tootin' cowboys. They get all like brawly, and they're like, "Ha Germans, when they get drunk in these films, the German soldiers just like become increasingly dour.
Philipp, das ist nicht mehr die alte Gang. Jetzt kommen die Queckse. Die nassforschen Typen.
That is like the. I think there's like a different. I compare this to like Band of Brothers and stuff. Any scene where like they've been out drinking at the bar or whatever. It's just like it's a very different how those two Americans versus Germans deal with the drunken World War II bar scene.
And just let me add as well, if you're gonna watch this movie and you like women, enjoy these 5 minutes, baby. Because there are not gonna be any women.
Yes,
it's a true naval experience.
Yeah,
you get a couple minutes here, and then tomorrow you're out for the next 8 weeks.
Right.
So yeah, it shows that that kind of gives you a basic introduction to some of the characters, and then the next morning they ship out from La Rochelle, and they give you a great scene of the shipyard, the bunker, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's an impressive set.
Yeah, and then finally they go, and everyone's all excited to be putting out to sea and doing their thing, and then quickly boredom sets in, as there's just not really anything going on for weeks, for several weeks, and then
I think for the rest of the film.
yeah, and that's pretty much for the next 2.5 hours. They really draw you in.
But it's interesting because, like, right, there's the one guy on the ship who's like the propaganda dude who's on assignment.
Right. I hesitate to call him the main character, but the movie kind of focuses on him initially early on. And that's sort of like the stand-in for the audience, right? So anything they're giving him the tour of the boat, that lets the audience see the boat and explain how things are working.
And the book that it's based on, it was written by like Nazi journalist from World War II who was like did a tour on a U-boat, right? Isn't that the...
Oh, okay. So this is like kind of your fictionalized version of the author sort of thing.
Yeah. He just happens
and it's
to
like
be
he does
a
like
Nazi.
Yes. Spoiler alert, these are Nazis. To be clear. And like, yeah, it's interesting because I wonder, he probably has more of an arc in the miniseries version, I would guess, because like he does kind of seem like he's going to be the protagonist. And then he does kind of like, I feel like as it goes, kind of fall into the mass of the crew a little bit, right? But he still kind of has this, a little bit of a tragic arc, I guess, in the sense of like, oh, I'm not even supposed to be here.
They're mean to
I'm
me.
just, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then they, you suffer through with the crew because that is a very boring part of the movie. And then finally they're getting alerts from convoys that are just too far away and they can't, which is even worse. If anyone plays any submarine simulator games, when you're trying to find targets and you're getting a lot of targets and they're all just a little bit further, too far away.
We've all been there.
In some small degree, I can sort of understand their frustration, but yeah, and then they finally get, they finally make contact with a British convoy, and it's a classic submarine scene where they're setting up, a night attack on a convoy. They fire off all their torpedoes, they sink 2 ships, and then they have to emergency dive because of the spoiler alert, the British destroyers catch wind of them, and then it starts the whole cat and mouse thing. It's another classic submarine movie trope. And of course, you have the pinging underwater.
Mm-hmm.
So they are able to survive that, and then I believe there is another very long dull period while they're waiting for some additional orders. And they think they are going to go back to La Rochelle for Christmas, and instead they get last minute orders to go to La Spezia in Italy, if I'm saying that correctly.
Probably not, but we're famous for saying non-English words incorrectly on this podcast. So, and even some English
La
words. as well.
Spezia.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, which means they
Oh,
must
here's the
first-
problem. Yeah, what's the problem with that, Mike?
The problem is, Christmas with the macaronis, as one of the crew members says. The problem is they have to first get through the Strait of Gibraltar, which I don't know the exact width of it, but I know you can easily see across it. Which means that a submarine is not going to have a good time trying to get through there. It's a British-controlled base at the time, maybe even now. Shows what I know. So they try to make their way, and they make up a very cunning plan to try and sneak through the straits.
Is it a cunning plan, or are they just like, we're just gonna go really quick through the strait? Isn't that their plan? Or am I
Well,
missing
his
what
plan was to get as close as he could, and then drop down as low as he could and drift through with the current.
Okay.
Yeah, and is the idea that then they're like harder to like if they're moving with the current and not their own power, they're like harder to like detect with the sonar or
'cause they're
something? Is that
quiet,
the
yeah.
idea? Yeah.
That makes sense.
But of course,
Okay.
if the British are using active sonar, then that's not going to help them at all. As long as they're in the water, they're going to be able to be heard.
Yep. And
But
spoiler
I guess there's a
alert.
lot of factors involved. By no means an expert, and that doesn't really work out to them. Spoiler alert, work out too well for them. So they have a very gripping scene. They take a lot of damage, and the boat begins to sink. Another classic trope. The boat's sinking past the test depth, past the safe depth, and then finally hits the bottom. And then, through a great effort by the crew, they're able to repair the ship, bring it back up to the surface, and then make their way back to La Rochelle for repairs. So
Nice,
that's
they
a
did it.
general summary, and I left out a couple major points, but
I
we'll
mean,
probably
you
bring
left
that up
out
in
what
the
happens
discussion.
once they get back to La Rochelle. Or is that, Devin, did you want to...
We could do that. I think that maybe we want to just
leave
discuss
the
that.
audience in suspense of what actually happens?
geez.
I like it.
I'm not leaving fucking anybody in suspense. Jesus. Yeah, everybody gets fucked up. It rules.
The anti-war part of it, I guess, is that you really become attached to this crew, and you're almost rooting for their survival, even though they're Germans in World War II. And then after this heroic rescue effort, them rescuing themselves, I guess. After this heroic effort, they're finally able to limp back home. And then after all of that, they get back to La Rochelle. And as soon as they pull into the dry dock, they are attacked by a British air raid. And almost pretty much everyone dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it fucking rules. It's like it's not just like plot wise. It's like the way the scene is being filmed and the vibes of it and the music and everything. It kind of seems like you're about to like cut to black and like credits, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, and I think it is interesting how the film's doing this, because it's like because you're really just in the perspective of the German submarine crew this entire movie. You're not getting like a holistic picture of history, and like you don't see the other side at all except through like the Germans' binoculars when they're like jumping into the sea while they're on fire and shit, So like if you choose to watch this like in an immersive fashion, you are essentially like you have the perspective of a Nazi soldier. And then it's like at the end,
Sailor.
it's like
A Nazi
sure.
sailor, Devin.
My bad. My bad. But then at the end, it's just sort of like capital H history showing up and slapping you in the face. Like, hey, don't let this. And I'm not sure if this is the intent or not, but you can read it in this way of like, the film being like, don't forget these are Nazis and they do have to die.
I think that
Or
was
it's,
probably absolutely the intent, because Germany was pretty, I guess I'll say apologetic. They went to a lot of lengths to kind of like make sure that everybody, like when you stick your dog's face in their poop when they poop in your living room.
Yeah, they wanted to be like,
not-
no. Listen,
no. Everybody
are-
knows exactly what happened, and everyone else will know, and so they went through trying to find the words. But you guys know what I'm saying. Someone else who's can
I mean,
articulate
they couldn't end that film with the crew just getting back to port and be like, we did it, because then it's like a triumphal film about a German U-boat in World War II. Like, you need something to happen, otherwise you're left at the end like, hold up, wait a second.
But also, it's that same sort of. It's also at the same time that kind of like effort at cultural reconciliation by the post-World War II German state allows Germany to then become the like financial power that runs the EU and like fucks over Greece and everything, right? It's like, oh, hey, we made up for it. Sorry about that. But now we're just engaging in soft forms of power that don't scrutinize us too closely or anything.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The final scene where the reporter runs out of the bunker and he finds the captain who has been wounded by shrapnel, basically walking dead. He's not walking, but he's still technically alive, and he's just looking at the boat, Das Boot, and it slowly sinks into the water of the dry dock, and then only once it slips below the surface for the last time does he succumb. And I think that's it. That's the scene right there.
Damn. Yeah. That's
Man,
Das
and does
Boot.
Jürgen Prochnow ever survive a movie? Like, I feel like everything I've seen him in, he dies.
Beer Fest.
Yeah.
The scene where he's in Beer Fest, he's in a lot of it, but there is a U-boat reference in that movie.
This is not a democracy. We always waste so much time arguing about names. I'm sick of it. I came up with Operation Recipe Retrieve, and that's the name.
Okay, fine. I like it now.
I'm sorry. It's just that I start to feel so cooped up in these U-boats. Had a bad experience once.
So I don't remember if he died in that movie or not. And I'm not gonna rewatch it to find out, but
Oh man, I did not know about Beer Fest, but that's interesting. Yeah, and I would guess that there's not a lot of death in Beer Fest, but
there is some death.
There is some death, yeah.
I think a guy drowns in a vat of beer, and it's technically a murder. He tried to drink himself out, and he almost made it. But that's not what this podcast is about, so we can touch on that some other time.
But they do there is the central premise in Beer Fest is they have Das Boot, which is a boot of beer that you have to
Das Boot
to chug
to drink the boot,
and you need to have the perfect form to do it. Otherwise, that's only the Germans know
without
the
spilling
form.
it. Well,
Yeah.
if you watch the movie, then you'll also learn how to do it.
Yeah. So,
but
Das Boot.
Das Boot.
Anyway, it's been great talking to y'all.
All right, now that we've had a chance to chat about the film, that brings us to a game that we like to call Vox Populi. So technically, Vox Populi means voice of the people. With this game today, what we're going to do is nothing to do with that, but I thought it would be a fun game to do nonetheless. So as we just mentioned, Das Boot famously ends with everyone just getting fucked. So everyone sort of dies. And so what we are going to do is a little contest between you, Mike, and you, Devin, involving other films where everybody dies by the end of the film. I'm going to give you a quote from a film where maybe not everyone, but
lots of death.
The
Most
characters
people
die. The main characters all die.
Wait,
It's a film. Yeah,
there's a big difference between everyone or most people dying and the main characters dying. So
everyone that matters dies in these films, I'd say.
all right, that's perfect. All right.
Yeah, there might be like a straggler or two, but like they're well known for films where like everyone pretty much dies.
Okay. So Hamlet.
Yeah. These are you're welcome to guess Hamlet for one of these.
Hamlet is every answer.
Every answer. That's gotta be Hamlet, right?
All right.
So yes, I will read off the quote, and then we'll go back and forth. Can you identify what film that comes from? If you can't identify the film correctly or at all, the other person has a chance to steal. Sound good?
All right.
We've got 4 each for all of you.
Wow. Okay.
All right. I think as the guest, Mike, do you want to go first?
Sure. That.
All right.
That seems
Mike, this first line from a film where everyone dies.
Wow.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, director.
What was the last word? Director?
Director.
That is from Rogue One.
That is indeed from Rogue One, a Star Wars story. You didn't say a Star Wars story,
so you only get half credit.
I'm gonna, but yes, correct. A point for Mike.
Jeez, thank God I didn't go first.
That is Darth
that
Vader.
Was obviously tailor made for me. So
I don't know the implication of what you're trying to say that these are tailor made. So I take great offense to that. Devin, this is for you.
All right.
I'm gonna have to be 2 voices in this one. Okay. I'm not saying that 81 people are going to die tomorrow, okay? I'm just trying to understand why this is saying they will. Okay, it's spooky, all right? I'll grant you that. It's more than spooky. But just step back, all right? You have all these uncircled numbers with no sequence to them. I mean, numerology, Kabbalah, Pythagorean cults. There are systems that find meaning in numbers, and they're a dime a dozen. Why? Because people see what they want to see in them.
What the fuck? 81 people are going to die?
Yeah, that's, I think, your clue.
81 people are going to die. I have no fucking idea. I know it's not right, but the numerology shit makes me think of the number 23, but I know that's not right.
So close. Mike, do you have any idea?
The only idea I have, I'm almost completely certain, is not correct in the slightest. So I will just guess the Imitation Game.
That does involve numbers, so both of you were picking up on the whole number thing. This was the 2009 film Knowing, starring Nicolas Cage.
Oh, never saw it. But Nicolas Cage.
I actually have seen that. But that's such a bad movie.
Is it like a great bad movie or just a bad movie?
Devin?
I mean, it's a Cage movie, so like
it'll be
it's kind of fun.
You just asked a loaded question to Devin.
Right.
If
you're in the right
headspace, excuse me.
If you're in the right headspace, it's pretty fun, but it's like absolutely ludicrous. Man, and it's like, that's like kind of like that's the Nick Cage version of number 23. I wish I could have thought of it.
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying. I mean, it was
No, I mean, to be fair, I have seen the movie, so I wish I had been able to remember it.
All right, next one, Mike. An equally difficult one. Our arrows will blot out the sun. Then we will fight in the shade.
You giving me all the softball questions? That's from 300.
That is from 300. Correct. Another point for Mike.
Ah, jeez.
All
All right, now, all right. Can't wait for the quote from the cabinet of Dr. Caligari or whatever the fuck. Like,
Devin, I'll even give you a hint. This is the last line that the characters say, or I guess the last lines that they say in this film
okay.
before they die. All right. Ready? Okay. When we get outside and we get to the horses, whatever happens, just remember one thing. Hey, wait a minute. What? You didn't see LaFours out there, did you? LaFours? No. Oh, good. For a moment there, I thought we were in trouble.
Love Force or the Force?
LaFours.
LaForce.
LeFors.
LaForce.
What the fuck are these? Like, he's getting like a 300 quote. You didn't see, so horses, LaForce.
Okay, I'll give you a hint.
Kid.
Oh, that's correct.
Ah.
LaFours was a lawman. So
okay, yeah.
wow.
So never seen that movie, but do know that people die, and I was like horses. So that was my all right.
You're on the board. There you go.
I'm on the board. Okay.
All right.
Nice.
Mike, this one is a little longer. So feel free to interrupt me if you figure out what it is while I'm doing it. Otherwise, I'm just
I
going
will
to keep
at least
going.
let you finish the quote, unless it just goes on
Okay.
and on.
All right, so here we go.
Okay.
You know what? I kicked the... I'm sorry, it's fucked up. It's fucked up, but I kicked the fucking map in the creek yesterday. It was useless. I kicked that fucker into the creek. I fucking hope he's kidding. Wahoo! Wow! Mike? Holy shit. I really hope he's kidding. Mike, are you kidding? I really hope he's kidding. Mike, are you fucking kidding? I'm sorry, man. You have got to be kidding me. You have got to fucking be kidding me. Is this a fucking game? Get the fuck off me, man. What the fuck, are you out of your fucking mind? No, I'm not out of my fucking mind. The map wasn't doing shit all day. Do you realize? Not to you, but I knew that fucking map. I knew what the fuck that map said. I'm sorry. You're a fucking asshole. I'm sorry. You're a fucking asshole. And the map wasn't doing shit all day. If we get hurt, or if we die up here, it's your fucking fault. It's your fucking fault. Do you understand? I can't believe you would be such an asshole. What the fuck were you thinking?
That's the whole thing?
That's it, yeah.
Well, I had one idea, but so my first idea, my second idea was what I was leaning towards, but there's so many swear words that there's no way it's my second idea.
Frozen 2.
Well, it's the Goonies actually, but
yes. I see the map though is a very important clue. Yeah, the Goonies, but the kids all die. At the end.
Fuck you. Fuck up. I honestly have no clue. I'm gonna guess. Like Platoon or something. Where aren't they lost in Cambodia at some point in that movie?
Good guess. That is not
No idea.
The movie. Devin, for a steal, do you know what it is?
I do know what this is.
What is it?
The Blair Witch Project.
It is the Blair Witch Project.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Where he has
That makes
thrown
sense.
away the
That
map.
sounds familiar.
Yeah. He threw away the map, and then
I watched it once when it came out.
The terrible acting was a big help.
I was really getting into it.
Oh, it's really spot on. You're such a good actor that you can play terrible actors.
Thank you. All right. So now we're tied up 2-2. And Devin, it goes to you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Our son is dying. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Our son. God damn, it's the best one. Okay.
The Ten Commandments.
Our sun is dying. Mankind faces extinction. 7 years ago, the Icarus Project sent a mission to restart the sun, but that mission was lost before it reached the star. 16 months ago, I, Robert Capa, and a crew of 7 left Earth frozen in a solar winter. Our payload? A stellar bomb with a mass equivalent to Manhattan Island. Our purpose? To create a star within a star. 8 astronauts strapped to the back of a bomb. My bomb. Welcome to Icarus 2.
Huh, and this is the last line of the movie?
No, that was your last one was with the.
Oh,
Cassidy was
sorry.
the last
I got
line.
confused and I was like,
Not
every
every
line
one
is
of
the
yours
last.
are this is in fact
Yeah.
the first line of this film.
Okay, is this Sunshine?
Yes.
All right.
2007
Yes.
Sunshine,
Okay.
where they have to fly
Yeah.
a ship into the sun to.
All right. I immediately
restart
thought Sunshine, and then I was like, wait, why would that be the last line of the movie?
it. Yeah. Nope, that was the first
great.
line.
All right.
Wow.
Nice.
Devin, you've
Wow.
taken the lead.
I love Sunshine, and particularly the soundtrack.
But famously, they do fly their bomb ship into the sun to restart it. Because that's how science works. All right. Mike, you're going to need this one.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go, Mike. For 1,000,000 points.
What? Come on.
I know. Okay. Or, less than that. I know you gentlemen have been through a lot, but when you find the time, I'd rather not spend the rest of winter tied to this fucking couch.
Oh, shit. What is
That's
that
the whole
from?
thing.
I figured this one might be a little tricky, so I have a follow-up, which is the last line from this film.
Okay.
The last line of this film is, why don't we just wait here for a little while, see what happens?
Oh.
Oh, is this? God. The Hateful Eight.
It is not the Hateful
Because
Eight.
I'm pretty sure there's a guy
You're
tied to a
still
couch
so
in the winter
close.
of Hateful Eight.
Steal.
Yeah, okay. You
Yeah,
have
steal
the
it.
right actor. Devin,
This is the thing.
this is the thing.
Ah.
1982's The Thing.
Well, it's been so
yeah.
long. So I first saw The Thing when I was like 8 or
Yeah.
something, and I was traumatized for life, and I've never watched it since.
So we
right.
just
Oh,
there
love The
there
Thing.
was no content warning. You have now been re-traumatized. Apologies for
Well,
doing
I
that
have
to
to.
you.
I can watch it again, and I'll have to watch it again, because Bill Paxton, right? Is he
I don't
not?
think Bill Paxton. Kurt
no,
Russell.
he's not in it.
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
also Kurt Russell, also in the
And Keith
Hateful
David.
Eight.
Yeah.
Oh,
So apparently,
that's
my-
interesting.
that is
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not the connection I made, but yeah, you are correct.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I needed the second line to get it. Like the first line was super familiar to me, but I was having trouble placing it. But that last
Yeah.
line, I mean, one of the best endings of all time.
I think so. Yeah,
We should really do The Thing at some
we
point.
really
but-
should. We can always talk about doing it at Halloween, and we haven't.
Yeah. Well, this year,
Um,
let's actually do it.
I'm down. Okay, Devin, for
So
you.
wait, what's the score now?
You currently have it's 4-2. You.
Okay. So if I get this, I should clinch, right?
Yes,
All right.
that is what you.
But
would
if but
think.
he but Mike can. Oh, I see. All right. Well, go ahead.
All right. Here you go, Devin. I know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail nonetheless. It's frightening, turns the legs to jelly. I ask you, to what end? Dread it? Run from it? Destiny arrives all the same. And now it's here. Or should I say, I am.
Huh. Destiny. I don't know. What just trying to think of any movie where lots of people die.
Mhm.
I don't know. Serenity.
It is not straight. What every one person dies in that film.
No. I don't know. Something about like the Destiny talk made me think
Oh,
of it, and then I just
okay.
couldn't think of literally any other movie. So
Mike, for a steal.
The only thing I can think of, and this, I didn't even watch this movie, but I'm familiar with. I don't want to say I'm familiar because it implies that I think I'm going to be right. But I've heard a quote that may be part of what you just said, and I'm going to say it's is it Avengers Endgame? Is it Thanos?
I'm gonna give it to you. It is Avengers Infinity War.
Ah, well,
that should be a
they all
half
blend
point. That should be a
together.
half
Okay,
point.
fine, a half point.
Half point, let's be
I
real.
give you half, but I give you an extra half point for trying to hedge why you knew the answer, which brings
What
you
in
to
the world
full
is
point.
this score?
Those are the rules. They're all written down. So
They're all
that
there's a book.
Yeah. So that brings us 3 to 4.
Wow.
But we do have our bonus round.
Oh, okay.
Whoever can answer this correctly does get an extra point.
So is this like we're shouting out in first person?
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
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 Wow. All right.
And the quote is, "Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the
Dr.
war room."
Strangelove.
Doctor Strangelove.
Ah.
Devin got it first.
Yeah, you didn't even let me finish the quote, but
Well, that's
gentleman
like,
was all
that
it
was
took.
implied.
Well, Devin, I was trying to think of ways to make you lose as I do in all of our games, but for some reason you knew the 2007 film Sunshine, and that really caught me
Love
off.
Sunshine.
Yeah,
Love. I've been listening to the Blank Check Danny Boyle series lately, so
Wow.
have had Danny Boyle on the brain. But great, not a great movie, but a great score. One of my favorite scores to listen to while I'm working. So
Jesus. Well, I didn't anticipate that. So looks like Devin, you have won this week's Vox Populi.
Oh my God, is that the first time ever?
It's the first and only time ever.
Wow.
All right, so one thing I have to get off my chest with this movie is like, so the movie's entirely in German, other than when we hear the British sailors at one point when they're dying, you kind of hear them in the distance, or like American sailors or whatever they are.
Mm-hmm.
But like the Germans all speak German. It's not like a enemy at the gates situation.
My name is Nikita Sergeyevich Khrushchev. I've come to take things in hand here. This city is not Kursk, nor is it Kiev, nor Minsk. This city is Stalingrad. Stalingrad. This city bears the name of the boss. It's more than a city, it's a symbol.
All right.
Yeah.
But when the characters are writing anything down, like the journalist guy, for example, or like the captain has like a log or a journal he's keeping at one point, they write in like perfect English. And I guess that's just how they decided to deal with the fact that the audience visually might not speak German. But then I'm like, but then wouldn't you, if you're making it for American audiences, wouldn't you just like make it in English? Like, why did they do this?
I was assuming that was a scene specifically they filmed for the English version of it. I could be wrong.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, they just filmed different shots.
Yeah. Cause it literally makes no sense.
In the director's cut, that scene is not present.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Okay,
in
so
the
this was
in the
something
eternally
added.
long director's cut, yeah, there is
They
none of
cut
that weirdness.
Yeah, because they say he's doing like a crossword at one point, and it says the hint is like hygienic maintenance, and he says like, "Oh, it's 4 letters," but that's not what he's saying in German. He's saying 3 letters, and then the guy goes "bad," which means bath, and then it translates on screen bath, and it's like, okay, but you see the word he just said is 3 letters, but then you're translating this wrong in order to make it work for the English word, and then they do like
then they double down.
Yeah, they do Liebe is the other one, and they say 4 letters, love, which again, but then when they're saying it in German, it's Liebe, which is 5 letters. Yeah. It's such like a weird thing to go all in on. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I understand how some of these are like translation problems that you have to, find a way of dealing with in the film. There's not a perfect one. But I do just love imagining that this is like a universe in which everyone speaks German, but for some reason the written language is English. Like, that's a very interesting society where like there are 2 different languages for writing and speaking. Like Jacques Derrida wouldn't know what to do with that.
Yeah, you might be onto something there. That was, and again, they cut it out of the director's cut. Like, it doesn't serve, to my understanding, any real function in the advancement of the plot. I mean, other than that, like, I guess this was the journalist guy was able to identify these really easy crossword answers and no one else could. Mm-hmm. So maybe
and I actually really got confused initially because at first it's just you only see the journalist character writing. So I thought like diegetically he was writing his notes in English to like hide them from the sailors so like they couldn't read them. But then like 2 hours later, you see the captain writing something, and I'm pretty sure he has exactly the same handwriting as the journalist. Like, clearly the same prop master like made both journals. And then it's like, oh, he also writes in English. This is just, because I kept expecting that to come back, like in regards to like the animosity between him and the regular like shipmate people. But
yeah. Although on the flip side, the amount of attention that they apparently took to like writing this stuff down in English for this, the opposite of that was how any time that the whole crew was saying Heil Hitler, the translation on screen just said speaking in German, which I found hilarious. It's like, come on. We know what that one means.
We know what you're saying.
Yeah. I think it means Heil Hitler.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that Hitler's name was like the fucking like tetragrammaton or whatever. Like you can't put it into you can't write it down or it gains power over you or something.
Tetragrammaton, yeah.
But so like another thing that maybe we should talk about, right, is just sort of like, because a big part of this movie isn't so much just like the plot, isn't like what is actually happening with the missions. It's kind of like the life on and ecosystem of this ship, right? This submarine, like,
the atmosphere.
It's and like we see a lot of stuff with just sort of like what is like the daily experience of someone on a submarine, like, and like my big conclusion from it was that it fucking sucks. I don't know what you guys think about that.
I don't think I would handle it well. It seems like you're pretty much bored to tears 99% of the time, and then there's 1% of extreme action.
Yeah, I mean, it's I don't think it was meant to come across as comfortable.
Which I appreciate that they did that because, in so many war movies, it's just like, oh yeah, this is a fun time. This almost looks fun. I should enlist.
Right.
But
yeah, this definitely isn't a film that makes you want to join the military. Right? And like they emphasize it a lot where there are these frequent shots that like the camera's moving forward down the hallways. I don't know what else to call them of the submarine, like very quickly, right? as like, bolts are exploding off of it due to pressure or something like that. And it really emphasizes like the claustrophobia of the submarine, as Mike was saying, like the tedium, but also that it's like the primary job of a lot of these guys isn't, it's not like, a Saving Private Ryan style movie where we're following soldiers with guns that are engaging in like hand-to-hand combat, right? It's like most of these guys' jobs is like twisting levers and maintaining just the submarine as a machine, right?
Yeah, and I mean we can get into it a bit more in a moment, but I think there is perhaps one of the aspects of this film is, there is a, that classic German, they're all working, they're doing their tasks very efficiently, and there is a piece around a lot of those scenes, even when like it's going through the ship, where you see like, wow, look at this group of people working together to keep this U-boat going. Where I guess like, I could imagine a person watching this film coming away with it of like, wow, look at how skilled that crew was in keeping the ship going under all of these circumstances. So there is a bit of that piece of it. It's you're aware of how small and cramped and dangerous the ship is, but there is also kind of this recognition of like, oh, but look how difficult it was to keep this shit going.
Yeah.
That definitely is a theme.
And with that, I wonder what you guys think of like, because even though like we kind of pointed out, like, at the ending, everybody dies, there's sort of this like, we need to kill off the Nazis now moment. Because of this, I kind of emphasis on like the skill and like the way it positions the sailors almost more as like they're like factory workers almost or something, more so than like combatants. Like it does feel like it's pretty like sympathetic to them, right?
Yeah,
like,
I think that was part of
like
it. I think that was part of the 1-2 punch. You have to, you have to connect with the crew so that when they die at the end, you'd be like, oh, war is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, because you actually care about like the people who just got gunned down, right?
Yeah. No, and I mean, I guess maybe I'm being unfair, but I guess it makes me ask the question, like, how much sympathy should we be extending to Nazi military personnel, even ones that seemingly like don't personally like Hitler, right? Like the captain never does the Sieg Heil. Like people do it to him, and then he'll like shake their hands. Like he does,
right?
You get the sense that he's kind of like Hitler's an asshole, but then but he still just does his job and follows the orders, right?
Yeah.
And it's
but if you zoom out and you think of like, what does Das Boot actually accomplish over the course of the film? They sink a convoy ship and a bunch like all the like civilian crew drown, and they're like, oh, they're drowning, and they like lower the boat, like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and they're like, that shouldn't have happened. Whoops.
Oh,
like,
what, man? I don't believe the British didn't pick up those passengers from the boat we just blew up. That's on them. Anyways, let's head out, guys. Do they accomplish anything besides that, or is that like their big thing, is sinking that?
And I think part of it, right, is because like their orders don't even make any sense, right? It's like they're told to go through this impossible strait, not really for any clear reasons, right? There's not like the sense is they're just kind of on a suicide mission, right? And it's like, it does seem to be pointing to like in that way that like its idea of like the central command is one of almost like psychosis, right? It's like this is just like a mad, unstrategic, like Kafka-esque situation, right? In which this crew is just being sent on these pointless, impossible missions.
So I don't know how many U-boats actually made it to the Mediterranean. There were a few, but I do know that if any of them managed to even get through Gibraltar, that every U-boat that eventually ended up in the Mediterranean was sunk.
Oh, wow.
By the Allies.
Yeah.
Nice job, Allies.
Keep that shit locked down.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. I mean, I guess to me, the larger theme that draws up is this question of like, is this an anti-war film? Because it is, like, that's what this film is, in my mind, most known for, right? Is being, I hadn't watched it before this episode, but my understanding was like, oh, this is like the great German anti-war film, or one of the greats at the very least. And so I guess there's that question of the extent to which it is an anti-war film and how it leans into that, and maybe some ways that it doesn't lean into that. I felt there was some more ambiguity after watching it than my impression going into watching the film.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's like it's definitely like a repudiation of the like those who had political power in Nazi Germany, right? I don't know, and I mean it's partly just outside of the purview of the film, but I don't know how much it thinks through like the idea of complicity. And that's a tough, that's a tough question. So, but
let me give you a quote from Lothar Gunther Buchheim, who's the author of the book upon which Das Boot is based, because he had a mixed reading of the film. He wasn't a super huge fan of it, and so I translate. So apologies if the translation is not great because it was in German. But his takeaway from the film, I'll quote him here now. He said, "Now I'm wondering if this film lets moviegoers relive hell below," his book, "will it make them despise war, or will it fascinate them? And even a war film that relentlessly accurately portrayed the horrific reality of submarine warfare, would that be enough? Shouldn't a naval warfare film take a decisive stand against the mystification of a weapon that was basically insidious?" A review of my novel in the USA said, although it was meant to be scathing testimony, "This is perhaps the first important book to demythologize the Second World War from a German point of view. Can the same be said of this film?" So he was, I think he came out being concerned a bit that it might almost mythologize the, struggle is the word I want to say, but I really don't want to. But the struggle of like these, sailors on these U-boats and sort of
I think that's right. I think to kind of rephrase what I was trying to say before, more in this vocabulary, I think the film is like demythologizing the Nazi command structure, like Hitler, the generals, right? But mythologizing the sort of like the proverbial foot soldier, right? Is like, well, say what you will about they were being given insane orders, but the way in which these men executed those orders was like this technical marvel and like worthy of adulation. And it's like, like he says in that quote, right? The submarine is inherently insidious, right? So it's like when you start to be, it kind of goes back to what we've said about Top Gun Maverick, but when you're like worshiping the speed and power of a machine of death just because of its like how hard it is to do, right? Like how hard it is to design, how technically marvelous it is. That is kind of fascism.
I never thought I would see parallels between Das Boot and Top Gun.
Including the way that like Tom Cruise's character, he brushes up with the generals, right? Like the command people don't. So that movie was also kind of like, oh yeah, the people in charge are kind of assholes, but we like look at how well these people press the buttons, the best pressers of the buttons in human history.
Because you do get the impression in this film of just how difficult it is to keep the machine running. Like the submarine is a work of technological ingenuity. I think in this film you have the engineer character who like literally has a nervous breakdown at one point, but like he's almost seen as kind of a savant in how he's able to keep this machine running and just knowing what to do And I think it does kind of it does emphasize some of that, but again, I'm trying to imagine in a film structure how you don't do that in a way where like the vast majority of what you're spending your money on in making Das Boot is the set of this submarine, and you're probably trying to capture how good that set is and like sort of put people in the space. And I think it's a hard thing to navigate doing that while also not making people be like, oh wow, this is sort of cool and interesting. Like it's
yeah,
tough.
because it is like,
yeah.
I mean, because it's really interesting. Like something this film shows really well is how like even when the submarine is like idle, it being idle requires all this labor, right? Like it's this constant act of maintenance to keep the submarine in the like in the stasis, right? And the way the film does that, I think, is technically quite captivating. But yeah, it's kind of like any time, because like ultimately though, this is like a machine of war, a machine of, you know, death and imperialism, right? So it's like I don't know that you can ever appreciate its technical majesty, you know. I don't know, like it's like, you know, I'm almost comparing it to like I'm thinking of like a Michael Mann movie actually. And the way like a movie like Thief, which is about like a safe cracker, Michael Mann is like kind of doing a similar thing where it's like there's all this emphasis on like just like this guy is a skilled worker and look at him using these tools and machines to accomplish this thing. And you know, but I feel better about liking that in Thief because he's a thief. He's against capitalism, at least in an individual resistant way, right? He's supposed to be like kind of, you know, this resistant figure to the status quo, whereas in this one it's you know, Nazi soldiers,
right? Yeah, and they're portrayed as the underdogs throughout all this. It's sort of like a cat and mouse of like the evolving technology with the depth charges and all of that. But it's I think there's also this like, okay, yeah, they're the underdogs, but you know, what are they doing that is so hard for them to do? And it's not great what they're doing. So
Yeah, they talk a lot about how the British are just too good these days. So I guess they had their heyday, and the British are catching on to all their tricks.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. It's just and in that and a lot of those lines, it sort of just plays it as a parallel of like, well, us and the British were just kind of two players in this game, which
yeah, like there's no mention of ideology in this movie, right? Like
Except
well,
for
I mean,
it's
yeah,
assumed you know it.
there's mention in yeah, I guess the only you get in the beginning with sort of the you know, that it's sort of framing the sailors as almost like removed from the ideology or you know, we make fun of Hitler, we don't do the Sig Heil, but again, like, okay, but you're still launching in a German U-boat to sink merchant vessels to advance the cause of Nazi Germany in World War II. So I think it tries to separate those things, but it's like, okay, but you realize the whole plot of this book relies upon the fact that you are part of that ideology. You can't simply remove yourself from it by like scoffing at saying Sig Heil.
right.
Yeah. Like I'm the reluctant Nazi, right?
Yeah,
is sort of the thing.
Yeah.
But to get into some lighter fare, you guys had thoughts about the presence of food in this movie or something?
Ethan had some thoughts, which if you don't remember, I do remember. So, and I wanted to expand on that, but I'll let you kick it off. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll set us up. Like they when they first go out to sea, they load up with so much food, like an obscene amount of food. They're like storing it all over the ship. Apparently, they didn't like realize that bread molds. I don't know how that ended up being, or they just didn't.
I was wondering that too. It's like it doesn't matter how much of this bread you have. It's like it's all gonna be bad by a certain day.
Because there was that scene where he's carving the mold off. Like, does the mold only grow on the surface, or will it penetrate into the bread?
I think
I don't know.
This is
I
not a
don't
medical
keep, like, moldy
podcast.
bread.
Do not. I think you can eat bread if you cut off the mold. There are certain
wouldn't do
foods
it.
you can,
I wouldn't
and
do
there's
it.
certain
I
foods you
mean-
can. And actually, maybe bread is the one where you really shouldn't eat it by cutting it
I
off.
want to encourage all the listeners to look up.
Try
their
it out
own mold
and
facts,
send us a note.
I think actually the
before.
mold itself has the most health properties. It's
Allegedly.
It's
Allegedly.
what's known. It has what we call super minerals. So make sure to eat only moldy bread.
No, but Ethan,
allegedly.
you had some comment about fresh bread being symbolic of the Germans' overreach or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I had this whole spiel that I went on as we were watching
Give
the
it to
film,
us.
where it's like because they're launching out of France, and it's like this victorious sort of launch almost, and it's this idea that like we're capable of anything at this point, and you sort of have the idea line like look at how we're literally overflowing with bread and supplies and all of this stuff. But you quickly realize that like that is like you can't hold on to that. You realize like this is not sustainable what you've done. And I was making this whole analogy as Mike and I were watching the film about like, oh, it's sort of like the Nazis marching through Europe and thinking that they can like sustain themselves simply upon I don't know, like that they are meant to advance throughout the world and like that they can just you know that it's just going to be good tidings from here on out, when actually it's like no, obviously there's going to be massive amounts of resistance, especially because like you're soaking up all of these materials for your war effort, and like your I don't know. So there was just this overall
really
thought I
good.
had that
Yeah.
it almost to me symbolized that things felt really good at the start of the film, and things felt really good for like Nazi Germany at that point in time in the film, because like wow, we're killing it, y'all. And then of course that quickly sours both, you know, within the ship with their food, but also the war effort itself is quickly souring too.
Then you mentioned that with the fresh bread and it being this whole big thing at the beginning, but I noticed, and I don't think we discussed it last time when we watched the film, but like when they resupplied in Spain and you see more fresh bread and you're like, of course you can just do whatever we ask you to do. Like it's no big deal. Go through Gibraltar. Here's some fresh bread, you know? And so every time they get fresh provisions, basically disaster happens.
Right. And it's almost like placating them into like they don't even it's almost again maybe it's that ideological aspect of like when you're at harbor, it seems like very doable, like oh yeah, no, this is not the goals of what we're being asked to do are not absurd. Yeah, no, we can pull this off. But immediately once you get out to sea, you realize that like this is a suicide mission. This is absurd.
Yeah, I think that's what I like the about it being this image of bread and like fruits specifically so much, right? Because it's like when you have all these shots of these as you said, like absurd amounts of it piling up, like they're putting it in people's bunks and stuff because there's nowhere to put it. You know, that image implies this like endless preparation, but then when you actually think of like, wait, how long is this stuff actually going to be good for? You realize you've only planned like 5 days ahead, right? Or a couple weeks ahead, right? And that does seem like a good image to kind of encapsulate like the doomed Nazi war effort.
Yeah,
I think in general, they would have tried to eat their fresh provisions first, but as you see in the scene where they're just carving mold off of, they has to mold like immediately, right? Because the boat is constantly taking on water, and you know, everything's just like humid. It has to be so hot and humid all the time.
it's not a good place for bread, I would
But
imagine.
as the what is it? The second officer says, you know, you should be grateful for everything that grows in this blessed place.
Yeah, again, that's like almost the iconography of the U-boat as this you know, sacred vessel almost. And And then, of course, as Mike and I continued watching the film and getting progressively drunk doing so, there, like towards the end of the film, there's a pineapple, which I think was like the only thing I told you, Devin, going into the film is like consider the pineapple, which I don't think is at all as deep as I was imagining at that point. But that literally,
but
yeah,
there is this one incredible shot. Is this it? Yeah. Where like you see what is he saying there? I gotta get out of the way.
With every last bit of air pressure, like just for those who are listening, he's very sweaty. I don't know which character this is that's saying this. Is that's the journalist, right?
No, that looks like like the Hitler Youth guy.
Yeah.
Who was super prim and proper, super groomed all the time.
Yeah, and he looks really rough now, and the pineapple is in the background.
Yeah,
it's pineapple.
Like this tight close up of his face, and this is during like a very, very tense part of the movie where like they're trying to figure out like are we gonna survive or not? And there's like, I would say like almost like a quarter of the frame is taken up by this pineapple, like right next to his head, and it almost kind of mirrors his head in like shape, like So I don't know. It's
well,
and that's just like, it's a very absurd image, but it's I think that it captures some of those contradictions like both of you were talking about between the like, the hope and the doom.
Yeah.
But we discussed the pineapple. So Ethan, would you like to
I will read verbatim the line that we wrote down in our Google Doc. Which is okay. Serious face. The pineapple only appears if you've seen death. If you have not seen death, you cannot see the pineapple.
Oh man, are you gonna come up with like the oranges in Godfather style take on what the semiotics of the pineapple is?
My follow-up comment was that the pineapple actually won a Lola for his performance in this film, which is like the German Grammys or the German Academy Awards. Yeah. I guess it's both preceded by all in caps, us just putting, is that a pineapple?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
No, and there's another big moment with Fruit where when they're disembarked and they're in sort of the very opulent room, and this is right before they end up loading the submarine with a bunch of food.
Yeah, in Spain. Fucking
Franco. The captain is served fresh figs, right? And he's like, I've never had one before, and he has this very sort of like emotional moment of opening up the fig and tasting it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this film is really interested in fruit.
Yeah. I'll say one more thing that should not be how we end the conversation, but I do need to emphasize this because it was something Mike and I were talking about the whole time. Everyone's attire on this film, like they could live in the Pacific Northwest in current day.
Yeah.
It's all
sure.
They've got like the flan, like it's a very like Pacific Northwest outfit that all these folks are wearing.
Yeah, the captain in this probably owns like a legal weed dispensary in like Tacoma.
The actual captain.
Yeah.
Didn't actually die.
Yeah, he went off.
Oh, so since we're talking about the captain, while I was reading about this film, the captain's supposed to be 30 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like he's
baby.
45 at least.
Yeah.
I did look up. So the actor was 40. Wow, but like Jurgen Prokhorov is an old looking motherfucker. Like I have a feeling like he's one of those guys with like kind of the Rodney Dangerfield effect where like he looks the same amount of old for like 75 years,
he just looks like he's a certain age his entire life.
Yeah, it's like when you see like young Edward James Olmos and you're like, hey, hold up.
He still
When was this movie made?
Yeah, this is Did you dye your hair? What are you trying to do, Ed? Yeah.
But I guess our last big question about this movie to get away from the fruit and the outfits is like, what do we think at the end of the day? We've kind of touched on it a little, but do we think this is an anti-war film? Ultimately, does it as we said, it's ambivalent, right? It's contradictory, but like, if we had to kind of make a declaration, where do we think this film ends up? Like, what side of the line does it end up on in this, like, a strange tightrope walk it's doing?
I guess I always thought of it as an anti-war film, but now that you're actually bringing it up, I'm wondering, did I always actually think that, or did I think that because I was always told that? So I guess so, because yeah, you grow to love these characters and you want these characters to live, and in the end they just die for nothing. So I would think the essence of that is that, it's an anti-war film.
Right. Yeah, that's an interesting question. And I like how you're describing it, Mike, because it's in those terms, like, it is an anti-war film. Like, the war is not a good thing for any of these characters, and they do all die. Is it an anti-fascist film? No.
Yeah.
Even
that's
like,
a good
is it?
distinction,
Yeah,
right?
I think that's, to me, perhaps where the distinction is, that it's not anti-Nazi Germany beyond, like you were saying, Devin, that it's anti, like, the brass.
Like, Hitler was a bad general.
Yeah,
like,
they don't know what they're doing. But it's not. It was not anti-Nazi or anti-fascist overall in that aspect. But I guess, like, when you pull it out, like, it doesn't frame the war as a good thing. That so I guess in those regards, it is anti-war. It's certainly not pro-war. I think, again, the one caveat, which sort of like the author of the book was speaking to, is it kind of promotes almost the technological awe of the U-boat and the effort that it took to, like, bring that U-boat home after all these journeys and challenges. That I think that adds, like, an asterisk, I feel, to the anti-war aspect.
Yeah, it's almost like, for this film, war is bad, but the problem with war is that your beautiful, technically skilled sailors will be killed. And then the paradox of that, right, is that that kind, and we talked about this with Top Gun Maverick, right, but like, that kind of technical mastery is only being achieved because of war, right? So it's like this same paradox of, like, not liking war, not liking, when these beautiful machines are used for bad things, but no one was gonna fund submarines if it was just to do fucking, like, research into oceanography, right? Yeah. Like, those things end up having often civilian application after the fact, right? But the original reason the technology is being developed, boosted, paid for is military application. And we could apply this to lots of things with, the contemporary U.S. empire, right? Whenever my Amazon package finally gets delivered by a drone, right? But that drone only exists because other drones need to assassinate people around the world indiscriminately. So,
yeah. So that's Das Boot.
Das Boot, baby.
And that brings us to the most important question, which is, how many Steve Buscemi's would you give Das Boot? Mike, did I prepare you for this in any way, shape, or form?
I don't think so at all.
Great. So at
I'm
the
gonna
end,
give it.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Going in. Let's go.
18 Steve Buscemi's.
Damn.
Out of 10, and because Steve Buscemi, he doesn't want to be involved either. Nobody wants to be involved in this movie. Like, this is a horrible thing. Nobody wants to be there. So, I think that's,
I especially love that you didn't simplify that to 9 out of 5 Steve Buscemi's. You kept it at 18 out of 10.
Yeah,
Steve
no,
Buscemi's. It's not. We're
that's
not
necessary.
Yeah. Nice.
Who does out
Devin?
of 5?
Yeah.
Psychopaths. Unless you're talking about stars, in which case
do the amount of thumbs you have. Yeah, I guess 5 you could do like stars, the star system.
5
Yeah, actually, now
stars.
as I'm speaking through it, I think actually most rating systems
Yeah.
of films are out of 5 stars. So maybe.
Speaking of which,
Oh,
for me, this is like a classic 3 Steve Buscemi movie. Like 3 out of 5. Like solid, better than average, like some technical, very interesting stuff. But again, just like a large majority of it is spent in a submarine. So if you're like me and you're like, when are we gonna get on land so real things can happen? It leaves a little to be desired.
Well, and now that we're at the end, I feel comfortable bringing this up because you were talking about vehicles earlier and how, yeah, I guess at a certain point when the vehicle becomes more like a building, then it can just kind of write it off. There's something I've always had something about large vehicles in general. So where it takes more than one person to operate the thing always seemed interesting to me.
yeah,
No,
but
that is my favorite part of the movie. Like just how they really show you how much work it takes to keep the thing moving.
And I don't know, there might have been more to that point initially, but it's gone now. So
there's a great game called Star Trek Bridge Crew. That's
great.
a VR game. We've played a few times, Mike and I and a couple other folks, where Mike is always the captain and he's trying so hard to do the mission, but like I will have decided that my role play is that I think that every Vulcan is actually a Romulan spy, and so I'm role playing that way.
But you don't need to be in Star Trek Bridge Crew to do that. You can do that outside of it. Like, why are we playing this game?
Because it's so funny because you're trying to do the mission as the captain, and I'm like, because you can point with your hands with it, I'm pointing to the Vulcan, be like, that's a Romulan, that's a Romulan spy, look at that, that's a Romulan. And and Mike's just getting increasingly frustrated because you do lose the game. Like, we're about to be fired anyways. That was
want to play the game. Yeah,
it made me think about
Have you ever tried to win, Ethan?
We tried a few times and failed pretty phenomonly.
Because of these antics that you're hearing about now. And I refuse to play with them again as the captain. For any kind of, and this is like a very niche thing where you have like crew games where someone plays the captain and everyone else fills a particular role. And I just refuse to play any of those sorts of games with Ethan and the other group that we play with because of the same issue. It's just it's fun for you. Well, I get to have some fun, fucking around,
No, you're in the right.
While you try to play the captain.
It would not be as fun for me, but you are in the right that I'm sure it is absolutely miserable experience for you.
Especially when it's not that difficult to be correct and just pass the mission.
It's like the second
But we digress.
Anyway, so Steve Buscemi. I'm going to give Das Boot a one big Steve Buscemi from The Sopranos. In that I feel like, again, sort of like Das Boot, The Sopranos is this film that it's not meant to make Italian gangsters look cool. But I feel like, there are some people who will watch The Sopranos or be just aware that The Sopranos exist and be like, oh, that's cool. That's like gangster stuff. And it's like, hold up. That's not what this is all about. But I think there is some of that disconnect. And so I'm going to give it a Steve Buscemi from The Sopranos. Which follow-up, Devin, we should watch The Sopranos sometime since I've never actually watched it.
No, that would be we should start doing like some seasons of TV and stuff.
Yeah.
Whole seasons.
Yeah.
Would you do shows like podcast shows episode by episode, or would you like group episodes? Because a whole season,
have to group it, right?
A whole season, if you're doing like 10 episodes, I get it. You can binge 10 episodes in a weekend. But like if you're doing like an older show where you got 25 episodes, that's a lot. Especially for like an hour long.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just think if you're not doing like a podcast that's only about that TV show where you could go episode like because if you're doing that, if you're just like a Sopranos podcast, you should do you should probably do multiple on every episode even.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you got to do chunks.
We should do General Hospital. One episode per
Jesus
one show per episode.
Man,
I don't want to be
talk
involved
about
in that.
General.
It only has 60 seasons. We can do it, Devin. We got a lot of
Oh my
material
God.
there.
How- Honestly, that would probably be more popular than this. Like there's at least like there's a certain kind of person who's going to listen to every General Hospital podcast that's available.
And we want to reach that person.
Yeah.
There's no one person who's like, well, I'm going to listen to all of the like vaguely leftist movie podcasts, even the shitty unpopular ones, you know. Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything you want to plug?
No, I don't have anything to plug. But thank you for having me. You know, maybe with a certain movie, I could come back.
Yeah.
We'll have to explore that later. But no, just
Is it
generally.
U571?
Oh God, no! And I actually wanted to mention that because as a kid, I went to see that with my dad, and coming out of it, I forget how old I was. I was probably like early teens. And I was like, oh, wow, that was really cool. And then my dad was like, Das Boot was better. So I'm like, and at the time I was like, man, you're just an old guy. You just like old movies. But looking back at it now, like, man, U571 was a terrible movie.
Yeah. Well, if anyone wants to join Mike Beaupre on Star Trek Bridge Crew with an actual crew,
I
he's
don't
always
play
looking.
Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Oh, well.
Not anymore. And it's your fault.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
Yes, thank you for having me. It's been
Awesome.
a great time.
Of course. Thanks for joining us, Mike. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to You're Tall, But I'm Standing in Front of You. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at Your Tall Pod. Follow Ethan at Mathesippi, and follow me at Stale Cooper. And you can find the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever podcasts are given away for free. And do leave us a 5-star rating. And, throw a review in there. Why not? I think we have one extant review. I would love to get that up to 2.
Double it.
And we will see you all in a couple weeks for as we continue the World War II miniseries. Ethan, do we want to say what we have up next?
I think we'll leave it with we've had the Soviet perspective. We've had the German perspective. There's only one other perspective to have in World War II. There's only one.
There's only one.
That's right. The Italian perspective. That's why we're watching
Life is
the
Beautiful.
Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, and we'll see you next time.